come all the way from Birmingham. That's quite a trip. Yeah. Going back, you going back today?
Yeah, no, we're going to London tonight.
Going to London, staying at your brother's?
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to London, what would give you peace of mind? What is it that you ideally want help with? What's bugging you the most?
I think the main thing is his barking, and I don't know if it's anxiety or what causes that to his like.
When you
really
say barking's like the outcome problem. Barking in what sense?
Barking in situations when
As soon as we
he shouldn't necessarily like.
As soon as we put our socks on in the morning, we get barking for 45 minutes until we leave the house.
Okay.
It's not just that. I literally another day, someone's cat passed our drive and he went mental inside.
Yeah.
So like just some things where I think he should stay calmer. Then I don't know how to make him settle and not get jumpy and barky on every little noise and movement.
Okay. 2 questions. How much exercise does he get on a daily basis outside the house?
Not as much as you should.
Not as much as he should.
Any reason?
I think an average about half an hour, 45 minutes.
A day.
But then once a week,
Every day?
Once a week he goes to puppy school and does. Like,
He goes to
doggy club or whatever.
It's a doggy daycare.
Bruce's.
He has that once a week. The rest is because I'm lazy and he's working 14 hours a day, so it's completely
Okay.
my fault.
So, I will tell you right now, my job is to be honest with you.
Please.
If he doesn't get enough exercise, nothing we do will change.
Okay.
Yeah. That is largely driven by the fact his needs are not being met. Okay. So if a dog isn't getting enough exercise, that pent-up energy has to go somewhere. For some dogs, it will come out as destructive behaviour. For some dogs, it will come out as excessive barking. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not leaving you alone and just
Yeah, but because you want him to go and settle down and not bark. But how can he settle down if he's not done anything?
Yeah.
So we have to be fair. Yeah. I'm all for telling a dog to shut the fuck up if he's barking for no reason. But if he's barking because he's got all this pent-up energy and then I'm just telling him off.
thing that I think
true.
Sophie as well, which is one of the other reasons why we're here, is on a lead.
He's a knob.
You'll go for anything. The bigger the dog, the better.
People.
No.
Ah, cool.
You can have a Doberman walk past him and he's like, let's have it.
Yeah, it's a terrier. He has no size perception whatsoever.
It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
it is.
he's a fucking Jack Russell. He's built to go forward. I don't like it. I'll go through it.
Yeah.
But when he's off the lead,
When he's off the lead, he's fine. I don't know whether he's just when he's on the lead. He's
So
defensive
there's a few reasons why a dog on a lead would become reactive, but be fine off the lead. Number one, you can come out, Sophie, it's fine. Number one, the feeling of confinement and being trapped. When he's off the lead and there's dogs around, if he wants to, he can give them a wide berth. He can do his own thing. He's got something to focus on. When he's on the lead, he can't do that. Second reason, other than confinement, is the fact that there's no direction. He doesn't know what is expected of him when he sees a dog or sees a person. Yeah, which we'll get into. We'll see what's going on. And number three is you, the other end of the lead. What happens at one end of the lead will directly affect the other. So if we're walking and there's nothing going on, we're all hunky-dory and relaxed, and then we see a dog, we go, oh shit, there's a dog. So he goes, oh shit, there's a dog. Yeah.
Tighten up. Do we pick him up? Should we?
So we'll get into all of that. That's not a problem. We'll get into all of that. So that's it. Back to my original two questions. We've answered one about exercise. Number two, is he crate trained? Why is there a muff on the floor?
Just blew off over here.
That's fine.
No.
Is there a reason for this?
Because he's spoiled.
Okay, thank you. Honesty is the best policy. Like I said, no.
Like, he sleeps in the bed, he sits on the sofa, he does what he
He
wants.
sleeps in the bed.
Don't, mate. He sleeps down the bed.
With a Jack Russell.
In between us.
I've got Jack Russell, right? I've had Jack Russell for 20 something years.
Right.
He gets what he wants
When he wants.
Yeah.
If he's crying there, he'll be on the sofa in your arms, cuddling like there is no.
He's the boss.
It's down to us.
He's the boss in
It's
the house.
completely down
so
to us. What he says goes.
Okay.
That's-
If someone sits in the spot where he likes to sit, he
He'll
goes
bark.
there and he just like.
and then he'll just
Until
like
you move.
shove you with his nose until you.
Yeah.
And then he jumps in there and makes him so comfortable.
Okay.
Like, okay.
So I'm starting to see what's going on now. So yeah.
That would have been my next thing.
Okay.
To basically, we need
So
training.
I ask. So many people don't realise, but I ask questions and I already know the answers to them. I just like confirmation. I know what's going on with him. Problem is, you've admitted it, he's spoilt.
Yeah.
He's not getting enough exercise and he doesn't have a place where he can go to where we go, look, mate, settle down.
Sit there.
So what effectively happens is he's got all this energy. So he's just going to be up and down like a fucking jack in a box. Then if you sit down, then he might come and have a cuddle with you. Yeah. And will settle down. But if you've got to get up to go to the toilet, to make a cup of tea or something, he's there. If you go and watch telly in bed, for example, and you get up to go to or whatever, he's going to follow you. So what happens is we've got a dog that's not getting enough sleep, but we also have a dog that is up, down, up, down, up, down. And as a result, he becomes on edge. So any little, he loses his shit. He's got no off switch, so anything walking past the house, he's going to go into like a territorial way of being. Yeah. So two things that will help you tremendously. One, proper exercise. Yeah. And we'll go over how to make that more enjoyable for you, because right now that's not. Yeah. Right now you're dreading walks, so we can fix that. Number two, crate training. Now, we don't look at crates as punishment, as putting the dog in a cage or something like that. Do you have children? No. Okay.
I would keep them in the crate rather than my
She'd
dog.
probably find it easier to put a child in a crate.
Most people do, right? But a crate, a crate is a cot for ideally as a puppy. Yeah. So when they're a puppy,
Really fucked that up.
yeah, no, it's fine. We can. The good news is nothing can't be undone. Yeah.
7 years old. isn't it?
Even 7 years old is fine. Yeah, it's actually easier with a 7-year-old than say a 7-month-old. The reason being is with a 7-month-old, they're hitting adolescence. They're getting all of this freaking new sense of freedom and things like that. They start pushing the boundaries. They start thinking they know what's best. They start thinking they're a bit of Billy Big Bollocks. So adolescence creeps in. That's when you're going to get the most sort of challenge from the dog. At 7 years old, all he needs to do is see that you are consistent about the new regime, that you are consistent and that you mean business, and he will quickly follow suit. Because the beauty of dogs is he doesn't like being like this, being on edge, up and down, barking constantly. That's a dog that's stressed. So if we can show him, look mate, this is how we get that energy out, this is where you go after that so you can fully sleep and fully decompress, yeah, then he starts to settle down. So things like excessive barking, one of the quickest ways of stopping it, proper exercise, yeah, at least an hour a day, and then after exercise, coming home, popping him in the crate for 2 hours. What that does is it forces him to actually switch off and settle down and nap, something he's not doing, because right now, even if he is tired and sleeps, the second you move, he's following you. So he's not fully decompressing unless you are actually sitting down, but that's not realistic. And we don't have to do this forever. What we do is after exercise, you stick him in the crate for a couple of hours. Now he's going to whine and bark, but guess what? He whines and barks anyway. So he's going to whine and bark, but he's going to do it in a crate. But what will happen is he's had his needs met. You're going to ignore the whining and barking, and he'll eventually settle down. Yeah.
So you need to come in as well.
This is where you need to be a little bit tough, right? So if we do this as a puppy, we don't have these issues as they grow up. But if we haven't, we have to kind of bring back puppy training. So we put them in there, proper exercise, proper decompression. Things like destructive behaviour is reduced massively. Things like terrorising you, terrorising the children, terrorising other people, reduced massively. Things like separation anxiety, reduced massively, because you're teaching him to spend a short period of time by himself without following you around going, Mum, where are you, Mum?
Yeah. Like he literally will stand at the bottom of the stairs at 9 o'clock at night and bark until you go to bed with him.
Yeah. And then also it teaches him, best of all, to switch off. So he's not so on edge, so he's not barking at every single noise. Those two things, absolute fucking game changer. Yeah? So we need to do that.
How long does it take to make him calm when he goes in his
Couple of weeks. So no, it's not a couple of weeks of him barking his head off incessantly, right? So what happens is he whines and barks, is that even a word? He whines and barks for attention from you, and you cave. So what's he going to do anytime he wants your attention? He's going to whine and bark. So he's going to fucking howl the house down, bark and scream when he's in his crate. Yeah? If you give in to him, then tomorrow it will take longer. Then the next day it will take longer. So basically, every time you cave into a dog, what happens is next time you attempt that exercise, the dog digs in deeper, and the behaviour they exhibit is exacerbated and goes on for longer and longer.
Okay.
Yeah. So if he is in the crate and he barks for 20 minutes and settles down and goes to sleep, win. But if he barks for 20 minutes and you go, I can't take this anymore, come here, baby. When you start again tomorrow, he's going to whine and bark for 40 minutes. Yeah. And guess what? He's going to be more stressed because what normally works isn't working anymore. Yeah. So every time you give in to the dog, it gets worse and worse.
And then after the 2 hours, you just let him out? Or...
It depends. If he's asleep, leave him.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Because the reason I say 2 hours is because it's a good couple of hours where he should be able to fully decompress. Yeah. Now, let me tell you why this is important. So Mila, my little terrier, when I got her, I had to leave her on day 3. I weren't sure how she was going to be. New house, new people, all of that. But on day 1, after exercise, I stuck her in the crate. When we were eating, I stuck her in the crate. And overnight, I stuck her in the crate. I used it at least 3 times. What this did was teach her how to behave after and during certain activities. Now, overnight, she's in the crate until we wake up. Then I let her out in the garden, wait for her to go to the toilet. So I'm teaching her where she needs to go to the toilet. After exercise, she's in the crate for a couple of hours. So she learns after exercise to fully decompress so she doesn't start barking at every single noise, getting up and down, becoming needy, getting up to no good. She learns this is what I do after exercise. So we create a calm, happy, balanced dog. When we were eating, I just wanted to know what to do when we're eating. After the food is finished, if there's something I want to reward her with, a little bit left over, I can give it to her for good behaviour in the crate. And as long as she's calm, she can come out. On day 3, I had to leave her. So what did I do? I took her for a nice long walk and I put her in the crate. Normal routine that is for her. And I left. Got camera inside the house, she was absolutely fucking fine. Yeah? Now, she whined a few times in the crate. Didn't go running back to her, I ignored it. So she learns whining isn't going to get me to come running, yeah, and thus creating a needy dog. Now, when food comes out, she automatically goes in the crate. I don't even have to shut the door because she knows what's expected of her. After exercise, I don't have to stick her in the crate anymore. She goes to a blanket on the sofa and goes to fucking sleep, yeah, because she's had her needs met and she knows what to do after exercise. Overnight, I still crate her, but that's because it's just her bed. That's where she's comfortable. At bedtime, she runs straight up, gets in a crate again. Don't even have to shut the door anymore. But it started by doing that. Exercise and being strict with the crate in the beginning means I can come away from it. Yeah. So that's what we need to do. So it's going to tug on your heartstrings, but you have to really decide right now whether or not you want to live with this, because the way you live with this is by not doing that. Or whether you just get some earplugs, ignore the fucking dog, do the hard bit now, so you have an easier life for him and for yourself. Right, let's get him out. Let's see what's going on. Okay.
He's not like, he walks, he's not always like super good, but with the lead walking, I don't really have any issue. He's Sumter. Come here, come on.
I love him already. He's great.
So he's love sniffing. He walks like really good. Like I never have any issue with his lead walk.
It's very good at stopping.
Yep.
And
Stop
the other
and
thing
wait.
is,
Brilliant, but his recall's crap.
Okay.
Let him off the lead.
The reason his recall's crap is because on the lead, although he's not a big puller, his lead work is all over the place. It's also why he reacts to dogs as well, because he's all over the place. So the reality is,
he does this.
Yeah. But with a dog, right, you either walk the dog or the dog walks you. And it doesn't always mean pulling. If you notice, every time he stops, what do? You stop. So what does he do when he sees a dog? He stops and then reacts. Yeah? But it starts with the stopping.
Yeah.
Now, also, he's able to go from that side to that side and he's zigzagging. So if you walk past a dog, what does he do? Go from that side to that side. Yeah. But the behaviour is worse when he sees a dog. But the reason he practices this so freely is because when there's no dog around, look what he's doing.
Yeah.
So if we want the dog to walk nicely when it sees a dog, we need to actually achieve it when there's nothing going on. Because if I only make him walk here by my side when he sees a dog, I tell him, now there's a dog, mate, because I need you to behave. And I'm only asking him to really behave when there's something going on. And I haven't had enough practice. Yeah. So if he can do all of this when there's no dog, he's going to exhibit these behaviours when there's a dog. So we need to sharpen up his work. We need to teach him hill. Hill is walk by my side at my pace. If I stop, you stop. I speed up, you speed up. Yeah? Not sniffing, not zigzagging, not treasure hunting, not stopping whenever you feel like it, because it's a job. It's a job I need you to do for a prolonged period of time. This would be the reward, but he lives with a constant reward. So we need to fix that. So, shall we see what he's like with his slip lead? I so thought you was walking into the car then.
No, that's worth more than my job, mate.
Look at the camera. It's so camera shy normally. We can't even get a photo of it.
So what side do you walk him on?
Left.
Okay,
No,
so
he always walks on the left.
so if you walk him on your left, the slip lead's on the wrong way.
Which way?
You're saying that should be this side.
No, because it is if you want him to walk on your right, but the slip lead has to come off. You have to turn it round and then pop it back on. So it does matter which way, there we go. It does matter which way it goes on.
Like that?
Yes, perfect.
Because I noticed it's spinning around sometimes and stuff.
So first thing I just want to do is I want to see what he's like with this. That's all right. So I want to teach him what the end of the lead means. Yeah. So very much the Hank show. What Hank, as you said, you've already admitted, but when Hank is interested in something, it's like everybody else can just go fuck themselves. Yeah, and I'm going to do this. Yeah. Mate, it's just a person walking around with a camera. Don't worry about it too much. But I want to teach him what the end of the lead means, because if he doesn't know what the lead means, or he can do whatever he wants on the lead, there we go, then what happens is he'll start to do that around dogs. So I want to teach him hill. What is hill? Hill is by my side, on my left in this case, doesn't matter whether it's left or right, just pick a side and stick to it, right? Unless you're planning on competing, which you're not, right? So, doesn't matter left or right, just pick a side, personal preference, right? So in this case, he's on my left. His right paw to never pass my left foot way is at hill. Not sniffing the ground, not zigzagging, not being in front, not being behind, not stopping every 30 seconds. He is to follow me. This is like me holding the hand of a child on a busy road. Sometimes they don't want to do that, but sometimes it is necessary. Hill is a necessary thing to teach the dog, because if I want him to be able to walk past a dog without lunging at it or stopping to fixate and then explode, I need him to understand how to walk by my side politely. The sniffing, the zigzagging, the stopping to cock his leg and all that thing, that's a reward for hill. But right now, if I ask him to hill, this is where I want him to be, whether I'm static or whether I'm moving. So we go with that, hill. If he goes in front, up and then relax. Nope, head up off the floor, because if he's sniffing, he's tracking, he's not with me, we're disconnected. Right now, the job is walk by my side. If I stop, I want you to stop, let's go. If I move, I want you to move with me. If I speed up, I want him to speed up. If I slow down, I want him to slow down. Nope, don't need to look behind there, because if he's looking over there, he is leaving this, worrying about that, and if there's a dog, then he reacts. Yep. Let's go. So we stop, let's go, and we stop. This is hill, learning to follow my lead. Yeah, but I need to practice this when there's no dogs. So if I ask him to do this, and I've asked him to do this 15, 20 times, if there's a dog there, it's not foreign. I've got more chance of success. But if I'm only letting him do this all over the place and then ask him to do this when there's a dog, not going to happen. Yeah. So once he's walked nicely for 10, 15 minutes, I can reward him. How do we do that? We stop. Hank, up, go on then. We let Hank be in front. Now Hank can sniff. Yeah, now Hank can stop. This is the reward for the job well done. I've asked him to heel. So I'm not taking that away from him, but look how he reacts much nicer. Hank, this way. We can start to throw in those commands we would use if he's off his lead. If he starts to pull, we just flick back. So I take what he wants to do and I use that as a reward for a job well done. The job is heel.
Yeah.
But I'm going to set the picture that I want when there's nothing going on, so I've got more chance of success when there is something going on. Yeah. And then we go, Hank, come here. Good boy. Heel. And then we go back to heel, which is head up, shoulders up, walking with me. Not sniffing, not zigzagging. Oh, I can feel his head dipping. Remember, I'm holding his hand now. Yeah. Nope, let's go. Notice I'm saying very little, but what I do say has significant impact. Yeah. Hank, stop it. No, come on, Hank. No, walk nicely. Hank, no, leave that dog. The more I say, the more he tunes me out. Less is more. So, we're just going to see what he's like when he sees the French Bulldog, shall we? See, straight away, you're like, ooh. So again, I stop, he stops. Do not want him going in front of me, making that little decision, because that little decision leads to a bad decision. So we stop. Do you know why he's doing this so well? Because he's stressed in everyday life. And remember what I said? It's easier for an older dog to pick it up. Let's go. It's easier for an older dog to pick it up because they want to be in a place of balance. Yeah. He doesn't like living the way he doesn't like living the way he is living. He wants an easy life, a stress-free life. Yeah. Stop. So once you start to show them, mate, this is what I want, listen to me, follow me, life becomes less stressful, you don't have to panic, you don't have to make decisions, let me make those for you. He goes, yeah, whatever, mate, have it. A 7-month-old, full of testosterone, will go, no, bollocks, I know what's best for me, and they will fight. He just wants somebody to go, mate, this is what I want.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let him look, and then go, right, that'll do you. Remember, rules are free. Okay, so when it comes to dogs, rules are free. So if I'm walking and he starts looking at something, 1, 2, 3. Beyond 3 seconds, he's starting to fixate. If he's fixating and he's reactive, we know the reactivity bit is imminent. So we go, he's looking, 1, 2, 3, nope. And we just help break that focus. Yeah. If we introduce him to another dog or a person, we go 1, 2, 3, yes, and then we bring him away so the tension doesn't start. If I ask him to do something, 1, 2, 3, he should be doing it or have done it. If he hasn't, we know he's ignoring us. So we stick to this rule of 3, yeah? If I ask him to do something, if I say, for example, Hank, come here, 1, 2, 3, no, Hank, come here. We make it happen. Gave him 3 seconds, he gave me the middle finger. Yeah?
See that? He's
So, So we make it happen. Hey, there's lots of horses today. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy. We're not playing that game.
It's amazing how much you can do with a lead, isn't it? How much you can control.
Tell me you've got a jack without telling me you've got a jack. The minute you start to play, they want to
Buy it and fucking rip it to pieces. Well, there's 2 dogs inside here, and I've opened this door. Right, so look, he needs to understand thresholds. Thresholds are so important for 2 reasons. One, you always want to know what's on the other side of the door before letting him go in there. And 2, by taking a few seconds before going through there, it allows you to make sure he's in the right frame of mind when you go in there. If I open that, see straight away how he bombs forward. There's 2 dogs in there. Now he's dog reactive, so he's going to go round the corner like, I'm fucking here, and there's going to be chaos.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's on me, because I make better decisions than him, to actually go, hang on a second, mate, let me see what's around there first before you go flying in like a fucking Jack Russell. Yeah? So what we do, keep him here, nice and simple. Door handle, open. Nope, back him up. I want to be able to have this door open and the lead nice and relaxed. Yeah? See, he's fixating there. Nope.
He wants to, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I am more willful than him. Yeah, what I want is some acknowledgement that I exist. I want him to go, right, mate, what the fuck do you want from me? And what it is I want him to look at me. But the whole time I'm waiting for this, it's just a mental exercise. Yeah? There. So then we go in. And we got 2 dogs right here. But he's come in a much calmer state. So those 2 Dalmatians there, same rules apply. Dalmatians, smell, 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 smell. But if I let him come in how he wanted to, disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he'd come in, I'm here, amped up, and then what happens? The problem is, because as you've admitted, it's the Hank show.
Yeah.
Everything's on Hank's terms. But dogs, as great as they are still dogs. And dogs notoriously make shit choices. They have the same brain cognitive development as a toddler. What that means is, if you take his ball and you go to a busy road and you throw his ball in a road, he's going to go for it. He's not going to go, that car might run me over. He will discover that car running him over once he's underneath it. Yeah? You can teach a dog thresholds of roads and thresholds of doors and things like that for safety, so they don't rush out and things like that. You can teach a dog to not chase his ball until you release him, but inevitably, he doesn't understand traffic, ball, and if I chase after it, I could get hit by a car.
It's getting worse at that as well, I'd say.
Yeah, much responsibility, mate. It's far too much responsibility on his shoulders.
I try to do like things to, like, when I take him out for a walk, I make him wait until I go out first, and then he comes after me when we get home.
Do you do this though? Do you go, wait, go on in?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I make him like, so like, especially when we get out, I make him like to go back,
Yep.
wait, and then I get out, and then come after me.
So,
And he did, but the thing is to like, it's probably again it's me not.
do you know what it
to,
is?
like-
It's inconsistency.
Yes.
It's 1 minute you start doing something with him, and the next minute, in the nicest sense of the word, working 14 hours a day is fucking hard. And being obviously by yourself and things like that, it's.
Mum and Dad have him though, and it's just a case of they live on
The thing
four
is
floors
that
away from the back gate and he doesn't walk.
that doesn't unravel it too much, because I look at that as no different to like your kids going to the grandparents. I know when my kids have a sleepover at the grandparents, or the grandparents are looking after the children. My daughter's 9 and 11. I know that when they are with their grandparents, they're gonna get fucking spoiled. Yeah, I know they're going to be overloaded with sugar, they're going to fucking... But when they come home, they still have to abide by the rules of the house. Yeah? Make your bed, take your fucking plates out, tidy up your room, and those little things, yeah? They still have jobs to do to earn their pocket money, yeah? And they're still not allowed to talk to their mum or me like a piece of shit, yeah? My children are also spoilt though, but we have that balance. My children are so spoilt, it's ridiculous. But they have that balance, yeah? I don't have to worry about them embarrassing me if I take them to a restaurant, or if I take them to somebody else's house, yeah? Because they have manners and they understand the rules, and as a result, they have a really nice life. You have a dog that doesn't really understand the rules, or one minute you're trying to enforce them, but the next you're letting get away with it, so they're always going to do what best suits them. If there's a chance they can get away with it, they will. So if I know that me whining at you might get you to pick me up, I'm going to fucking whine at you, yeah? Even if sometimes you don't do it, because sometimes it works. So it's in my best interest to whine at you, yeah? If I pull on the lead and I get away with it, I'm going to pull on the lead every time because I might get away with it. Dogs are selfish by nature. They want to do what best suits them. They are loyal, but they're loyal to their own needs and selfish desires. So if you provide all the needs for the dog, and you provide that security, the food, the structure, the rules, they'll be loyal to the end of the earth. But your dog will fucking fuck you both off in a heartbeat for me because I can keep him safe in his mind.
You bastard.
He's not even trying to get to you. Yeah. No. Because that's where the loyalty ends. They're like, well, this dude can keep me safe and this dude takes all the stress away, so I'm going to stay with him. It's the same, you see it with wild animals. I know these are domesticated, but you see this with wild animals, like the old lion that's met its time, and then the time for a new freaking pride leader, king of the pride, is it? I don't know. My lion terminology is not great, but it is. Yeah, and then what happens is if the young buck comes in and asserts his dominance and basically gets over, the rest of them will just abandon the old one just like that. Yep, you can keep us safe now, we'll follow you. Dogs are very much the same. They will follow who. You right there, mate? Why are you hiding behind me? Come out here. There we go. Good boy. Yeah, they will follow what best suits them, what gets them the best desired outcome. Yeah, I like him. He's really cool.
He is a cool.
He's a really cool
food
dog.
that we feed, like, we're suckers for. He gets spoiled food-wise. Do you think we
I'm
need
not
to
surprised.
Do we think we need to stick to kind of certain?
Okay, so what I will tell you is he's 7 years old. So interesting conversation, right, that I've just had with my mum. So my mum raw feeds her dog. I raw feed my dog, so that's why she raw feeds, right? I want to interrupt this week's featured training session to talk to you about raw food. The Southend dog training raw food is what I feed my dogs. Now, the reason I want to talk about raw food is because so many people don't realise that if your dog's on a diet that doesn't agree with them, it can contribute to your dog's behavioural problems. For example, my late staffy Sammy, she used to get terrible blocked anal glands. And when her anal glands were blocked, she would behave defensive around other dogs. When I switched her to a raw food diet, she never got problems with her anal glands again. Therefore, she was never defensive around other dogs. Many dogs eat a diet that doesn't agree with them that can contribute to ear problems, anal gland problems, bowel problems, skin problems, coat problems, and something as simple as a diet change can completely change that. Raw food has the highest percentage of meat. All of the ingredients in it are natural. So if you're thinking about changing your dog's diet or you want to give your dog the best, may I consider the Southend Dog Training Raw Food. It's available on our website now, link in the bio. Now, her dog is 11, 12 years old and has started being sick and a bit unwell. So she took the dog to the vets. They've asked what she feeds them. Straight away she said raw food. The vet straight away said, oh, you should take your dog off raw food. The dog can't digest it. Even though the chicken and rice they recommend, the dog can digest that, but they can't digest chicken. It's So anyway. So I thought my mum was feeding out raw food because she'd always come round and go, oh, can I nick some food from you? Or can I, right? But what I didn't realise is when she wasn't getting the food from us, she was going to Pets at Home and buying raw food. But she wasn't buying a complete raw food, so it didn't have all the correct components in it, right? And on top of that, they are giving the dog fruit in the mornings for breakfast, and they're giving it sort of tidbits from the dinner. Being an older dog, it can't digest the way that it used to. Everything slows down a little bit, right? So I said to her, I said, look, I had a big conversation with her about it. I said, come and pick up some food from us and put the dog on that. It's a complete raw food. Instead of feeding it once a day, feed it twice a day. So 2 smaller meals will be easier to digest than 1 big meal. Yeah. No more fruit in the morning, because a complete raw food is just that, complete, which means that is what the dog needs. And you feed the dog the daily recommended amount based on that dog, and the dog doesn't need more food than that, doesn't need all these tidbits and scraps and things like that. My terrier, who is now 13, when she was younger, she could eat anything she wanted. Now, if I give her something that's not her actual food, she really struggles to digest it, and she really struggles to process it and it come out the other end. She gets constipated and backed up. Yeah, that's because she's an older dog now. Yeah, your dog isn't what we class as massively old, because it's a Jack Russell that live until they're like 25, right? No, I'm joking. That was an exaggeration. 15 at least.
Do you know what? I'll take 25. Mine's 14 in a couple of months.
Yeah, to be fair, I would as well. I look like he's a beast.
But yeah, so get your dogs don't need to keep having all this different food. Yeah.
So with him, like, before we had him done, he was horrible. Like, he didn't eat for days if it wasn't something that he likes.
Yeah, I know, but again, we condition the dog. So what happens is, if you don't eat this, I'm worried you're going to starve, so I'm going to give you some of this. So the dog goes, right, do you know what, I'll turn my nose up at this, because...
Then she gets on her hands and knees and feeds him with a spoon.
No. Do you know what... Do you know what you do with a dog? Do you know what you do with a dog? If it doesn't fucking eat, he goes fucking hungry. Same as my children. If I make my children something and they go, I don't want that, you go fucking hungry then. Right?
Yeah,
and guess what? Guess what? The next day...
Like your mother who buys them a whole chicken and roast it for him.
Yeah. Again...
It's like a throwing under the bus kind of day.
But the reality is, right, your dog does not need to know what's in your cupboards and fridge.
No.
That is a rod for your own back. As soon as it starts getting roasted chicken, yeah, why is he going to eat fucking kibble? Think about it.
I mean, we used to take him back rib bones.
Yeah.
Like on a Sunday, he had like some roast beef and stuff. There was like certain...
Too much salt content, not good for him. You got to think, you're roasting... Oh, do you know what?
You're hitting something I had to explain to my dad. He kept giving my dog gravy.
Yeah.
He loves the gravy, Trent, pushing it around with his...
I will
Well, no, gravy's primarily salt.
Yep. I will tell you a story. I thought my wife was seriously going to kill my dog. Say my dog, our family dog. Right, Roxy. Remember what I said? 13 years old, struggles to digest things now. Christmas, my wife is a sucker for fucking spoiling the dogs, right? She really is, okay? So I get where you're coming from, right? My wife is a sucker for spoiling the dogs, right? Every year, they've had a Christmas dinner. Last year, the Christmas dinner in which our dog received Roxy, I thought it was going to kill her, right? It had all the fucking turkey, all the trimmings in it, all the gravy in it. That poor fucker, right, spent the whole night panting excessively, like fucking wide eyes, like massive freaking, like she was freaking overdosed on salt.
We need to be better at that.
If you want to give your dog some turkey or some beef, cut a little bit off and give it to him raw, yeah, before you start fucking basting it and slavering it up with salt and butter and all that. Remember, these are not human. What we eat and what they eat, they will eat for the best part anything that tastes nice. Yeah, that's why a lot of dogs are fussy with kibble, because it's just fucking dry biscuits, right? But they will, for the best part, any sort of human food, they will lap up, right? Yeah.
He's not...
But it doesn't mean that they should have it, because there's too much salt in gravy, which can dehydrate the dog and things like that. Plus, it makes them fussy, because he's like, I really like that, even because, again, they're an idiot. They don't know about diabetes. They don't know about fucking being overweight. They don't know that if I keep eating chocolate, I could die. They don't know that shit. Remember, they're thickos in the nicest sense of the word. Right, so it's our job to make those good decisions for him. And what is not a good decision for your dog is giving them a Christmas dinner. That's a terrible decision. If you wanted to give them some turkey, cut a little bit off before you stick it in the oven, and they can have that. Yeah,
Okay.
bit of veg is
purely for the salt reason, though, not the cooking reason.
no, and
Got a plain chicken breast and fruit in the oven with no seasoning, no nothing.
that would be all right for them. But again,
Raw would be better.
Raw would be better. Yeah, and obviously if you're cooking, yeah, definitely, 100%. And if you're cooking chicken, make sure you don't give them any bone, because cooked bones are so bad for a dog. Raw bones they can have. You could give him a chicken drumstick and he could fucking eat it and love it. Yeah, but if you cook it, you'd have to take the bones off. You'd have to just
Any bone is
bones. You should never
any
eat
bone,
them cooked.
Yeah.
because they become very soft and brittle and splinter.
I was at the butcher the other day. This woman gets bone marrow.
Yeah.
And he freezes them and cuts them.
Bone's really good for dogs. It's great for their teeth and it's great source of calcium.
He freezes
It's good for their bones and
So
joints.
that would be my other question,
Yeah.
because so I used to give him like pig's ear. He loves those. I don't know
Yep,
if it's
with a
good.
fur on it, proper pig's ear fur.
Not fur,
Good natural dewormer.
is it?
Yep.
Mum and Dad got him some ones with the fur on from the.
But the issue is, he got super defensive.
Yeah.
So like, he literally, when he doesn't want it, but you can see he sits there above that bone, pig's ear, toy, whatever. And
we have-
sometimes if you go close, he starts shaking.
Yep.
And we have to
And
plot
it's-
how to get it off him, don't we?
Like, literally once he took something to bed.
Yeah, but that's why but again, you're giving him stuff without him understanding how the rules to things.
So we give it him because we want him to shut up. Here, I'll give him a pig's ear.
Yeah, but again, all you've done is rewarded. People do it with tennis balls all the time. Dog's barking for the ball, and you're like, shut up and throw the ball. Yeah. What do you think you just taught the dog to bark to get the ball?
Yeah.
The shut up bit was irrelevant.
Throw the ball through.
Yeah, if he's barking and you want to shut him up and you give him a pig's ear, he's going to bark every time because he knows he's going to get a pig's ear.
Yeah.
So he knows that behaving neurotic is what opens the door to good stuff. So he's going to live that way to get those things. If I show him that being calm is what gets you what you want, and I wouldn't give him a pig's ear or anything like that, I would start him with just his basic dog food. Yeah. And if he was on a raw food diet, for example, that's got everything he needs in it.
Would you put? Is it too late, like to transport? What's the? Is raw better than?
Raw's the best food for a dog.
No, I'll give you guys a bit of hope. I didn't do nothing with my dog until he was 10. 11.
You didn't start training your dog until you started here.
Yeah, so crate training didn't happen until he was 11. And
He's got
I'll
a
be
Jack
honest,
as well.
No.
A couple of weeks.
Remember, he's got a Jack Russell, but because of the age, it makes it easier. People think you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah,
That's bullshit.
And I'll be honest, my Jack is a lot more hyper than yours.
Yeah, his Jack was a bit of a cunt in the nicest sense of the word.
My dog's twice the age of yours, and it's so much more hyper than yours already. Yeah, it's very determined. And my
Sorry,
dog's
dogs got their legs. He's on a bit of fucking wood, for God's sake.
He's crate trained. But do you know what? I'll tell you when I do shut the door on the crate, and that's if I've got to go all the way out to the front and bring something all the way into the house.
Yeah.
It's a matter of I can't concentrate on you
And that.
whilst I'm bringing something in the house. The only time I've shut the crate.
And you
other
put them
than
in the
that,
crate when you leave the house in the day. So like now, is your dog in its crate at home?
It'll be in it, yeah. But I
Just
don't
out of
put
his
him
own-
in it.
Out of his own choice.
Yeah.
We'll just go and see
It's,
that.
it's his bed. It's just like Adam was explaining earlier on. It's just like having a kid's. Not so much cot. I look at it as a bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
He
getting
looks
a
at
bit-
our bedroom as his bedroom.
Yeah.
You're
Hence
getting a bit
why,
rowdy
as soon
now.
as we
Go
lock
on,
the front
bugger off
door,
to your
he's
bedroom.
straight at the top, straight at the stairs, straight onto the bed.
The thing is, alright, so Mila, my little terrier, whenever the doorbell goes, she runs straight into her crate. Because from day one, it was easier when somebody knocks on the door, she had a lead on in the house, just lead her straight to her crate. That way I don't have to worry about her running out the front door when she doesn't know what thresholds are or jumping all over the guests. So the person comes in, when she's calm, I then bring her out the crate and I keep her on her lead to prevent her jumping all over the guests. And when she's calm, then she can interact with them. So now what she does, I don't even have to shut the crate door. Now the doorbell goes, she runs straight to her crate. And she actually waits for me to go, come on in and come out.
Yeah.
Just.
The other thing is the crate is the dog's safe space. Yeah, it's the safe space.
Yeah.
If the dog's in the crate, it gets left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means anyone that comes in my house, right, I'm extremely strict at it. I even told off the mother-in-law for this because Milo's in her crate. She's like, "You all right? Leave the fucking dog alone." Yeah, it's in its crate. That's the one place where the dog can go and be left alone. Yeah, it's like the dog's retreat. Yeah. And it works. So during fireworks, which can be a stressful experience for dogs,
No, he's living on this Cilio for
CeeLo, the
10
tranquilizer.
days, you know, that
The
it's a
green.
green gel.
Okay.
So that was Xanax. Like his heart was going at 350 beats a minute for the last week.
But put Roxy in like, so Roxy, my terrier, she's never been great with fireworks. She'll pace back and forth, shaking like uncontrollably, panting 100 mile an hour. Yeah. But guess what? If I exercise her before the fireworks go off to get all that energy out, then I come back and put her in the crate. Guess what? She's fine.
Friday night when he went to puppy school, he wasn't as bad as he was
Yeah.
when he'd done 7 miles.
And plus the crate helps her. The crate's her safe space. It's never been used as punishment, introduced properly. And what happens is if I put her in there, she knows to settle down and go to sleep. So if I exercise her, then stick her in the crate as the fireworks are going off, boom, absolutely fine.
Calling it doggy jail.
Yeah, it's not. It's again. Like I said, the reality is we have a bedroom, and bedrooms obviously vary in size depending on the house and things like that. But there's a reason you put babies in a cot to begin with. It's so they don't fucking fall out and hurt themselves.
He's the world's
Yeah,
biggest cock block as
but
well.
yeah, I bet he is, mate. I also am a big firm believer. I don't like dogs sleeping fucking in a human bed. I just don't. I don't mind if they want to come up and have a cuddle, but for a few minutes and then fucking get the dog off your bed, right? Because as you're right, they are a massive cock block. Yeah, and the worst thing is, if your dog is always next to you constantly, if you then want to have sex and shut your dog out the fucking bedroom, all you hear is whining, 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 and it's not the right one whining. It's hate with a capital H, kids and dogs in the fucking bedroom together. Hate it. One, never leave a dog and child unsupervised. Yeah, and if your dog is in your child's room, chances are they are left unsupervised. Yeah, there is absolutely no need for it. There should be rooms in the house that the dog isn't allowed in. Yeah, and for me, that's the kids' room. They're allowed upstairs, they're allowed in our room, they're allowed downstairs, they're allowed in the garden, they're allowed in basically every room in the house except my kids' room. Yeah, because a lot of the time if my kids are playing in the room, they don't need a dog in there, and if they are in there, they're left unsupervised, unless I'm just constantly watching everything that they're doing. But yeah, so my dogs, they'll go upstairs and they won't go into those rooms. Yeah, they're allowed in our bedroom, but they don't sleep in our bed. They sleep in their beds in the bedroom. The way you start by that is by starting with a crate. Once they understand that this is their bed, then you can replace their crate with a dog bed. Yeah, if they sleep between you constantly, then what happens is you'll find, in the nicest sense of the word, that your sex life gets worse because there's always a dog there. There's always something between you. Yeah, and then this can affect your relationship because the reality is we get frustrated, and when we get frustrated, we take it out on each other. We get more grumpy. It's
Your fault.
It is, and it could all be so.
I've got his bed like next to my bed, and to be fair, we try this to like go, but then in the morning I wake up and he's always back in the bed.
He sneaks in. He's
Yeah.
just that's why.
But again, that's why you need the crate, because what happens, and I used to discover this because Sammy was the best at this, right? My late Staffy. You go to sleep, you start, you wake up, what the fuck is that? The fucking dog's not. But then in the middle of the night, you're not going to start training. You're going to go, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
So the dog wins.
Yeah.
So what's he going to do next time? So you have to break that cycle.
For you to go to sleep, I'll go to the toilet at 2 o'clock in the morning and he's in bed next to us.
Hello. Yeah, so you have to break that cycle. Yeah, and the easiest way of doing that is to prevent the behaviour from actually happening.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? Put him in a crate.
So do you have like multiple crates?
Yes. So I'll show you what crate I use because it's perfect for you.
You don't carry it around. You don't move it around.
No. So look, it was much better that time. That's the crate I use for Myla. That's her work crate there.
Okay.
Is that what size we stick?
Yeah, that's perfect for you.
So
right.
We've got like this.
It's far too big.
One. It's like not
Okay.
this big.
Okay.
Like it's 70 by.
You sent me a picture of a minute the other day.
That's better. The reason that's better is because it's more den-like, more cocooned, it's much easier. I found Myla really struggles to settle down if she's in a crate like that.
That's the one we've got for handcuffs
That-
and a
Yeah.
blanket.
So
no,
that-
that's a different one. That's like a soft
Yeah. But
one, and I just put a blanket. on.
the reality is, the reason I also like these is because they're very lightweight. They've got a handle, you can just pick them up. You can just pick them up. So I've got one of those in my bedroom.
Yeah.
I've got one of those downstairs. I've got one of those at work, and I've got one of those in my car. Instead of moving a crate from here to here to here all the fucking time, which gets annoying, I just buy 4 of them. Now, what you would probably be better off doing is getting 2. One for upstairs in your bedroom, and one for downstairs in sort of the main living area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Myla only goes in her bedtime crate, which is the same as the crate she would use during the day anyway, because familiarity helps. Yeah. So when she goes up to bed.
Okay.
But she has the same style crate downstairs in the living room, the same one for the car, the same one for the office.
Yeah.
So it's just transferable. Instead of having one that's nicer than the others or things like that, you just keep it nice and simple. But the reality is your dog's not that dog reactive. That's fine. It's not that dog reactive because look, we're going to come out. We'll see what he's like when Sophie comes out. But I don't think he's going to react terribly.
Like when you go, it's more. So where we live, we have some canals around, and I walk there a lot because it's nice outside, water, nature, and you have like how wide is the path? Like
Tow path.
like this. And obviously a lot of people walking there with dogs, and that's the situation where I don't know what to do. When I walk with him,
the problem is, well, you need him by our side, not in front of us, because in front of us, he's going to get to everything first. So if I'm behind him as the dog comes out, he is way more likely to react than if he's by my side. Now, this isn't a complete science. We'll see what happens. Nice and relaxed. Let's stop him right there. Because straight away, wait. So I want that paw, that classic before I pounce motion went up. So that's when I popped on his lead and his paws come back down to earth. But you see that little bit of communication there. The shaking, that's a fucking Jack Russell. They shake. As soon as their adrenaline level spike, they shake. If they're cold, they shake. If they're excited, they shake. It's
They shake.
yeah, but they're literally walking vibrators, right? Yeah, they're so. If it was like a Rottweiler, I'd be more concerned, or a German, I'd be more concerned. But Terrier's literally, it's just that adrenaline spiking. Yeah, so he is. His arousal levels are spiking. He's starting to shake. So I'm not concerned by that shaking. It's very much Terrier-esque, right? But what I am concerned about is what you do with that. If you start to go forward, I'm going to pop on that lead and say no, because I know you going forward is going to lead to you start making some dumb choices again. When that paw comes up, you're getting ready to strike. So I'm going to no.
So we're walking the dog.
Yep.
And say I'm walking with Hank now, and Soph's got another dog, and we see Hank start, and we start to see that he's starting.
Most people
choke on the collar.
Not choke.
But pull it. No. But pull him tight and put your foot in front of him. Kind of
it's
thing.
just a little pop. So I'm going to give you. You're going to have a go with a lead and everything like that. So I can basically, so you get a feel for what's going on. But for the best part, if he's going in front, for example, we just pull up to slow the dog down. So we're not keeping the pressure there. It's on and it's off. It's on and it's off. So if I want to break focus, it's boom. Like so. It's a little, almost like ping,
sharp,
ping.
Yeah, a little pinch.
Yeah. And then if I want to, I can step in front just to help him out a little bit.
If you start, is that step in front? I see you do that a little bit. Is that quite a good thing to try and get attention? Break,
you just have
break
to. You don't really necessarily want to do it if he's already reacting though, because it's a chance he might bite you.
So
in that moment,
already, like if he's already reacting.
The problem is the goal is to get him before he reacts, because most people don't start to communicate with the dog until it's at the end of the lead, frothing at the mouth. That's when you try to correct the dog. If you notice, if there's a strong possibility, if I just left him to it, when that dog come out, he would have reacted.
Yeah.
He gave me all the signs he was getting ready to react. He's shaking, he's moving forward, the paw's coming up. Yeah. He's telling me, mate,
I'm up for this.
I'm up for this. Yeah. Same as there. When I first opened the door and he wants to, if you notice, I'm communicating with him before it escalates.
Yeah.
Yeah. What most people do is they wait until he's fucking exploded. Then you're like, right, I need you to stop now.
Yeah, and then
it's much easier to get him when he's at a lower level than when he's at a higher level. It's also very hard to step in front of him if he's already reacting, because
we already have a harness and I can just kind of swing him up to me.
Yeah. Problem with the harness is it just agitates. So a harness, for example.
So you think we're best off walking on that rather?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So a harness is, what it does is it creates this chest out motion. Yeah.
Which is what he was like when he was going in there. You see it. When you go free.
The slip lead is the best tool for him.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier to communicate with him. He's responding really nicely to it. Yeah.
it was sometimes when, where did we go? We had like a day in the city somewhere, like not a big, in Stratford I think. Yeah. Anyway, we were walking and he had this lead, and for some reason he was just keep pulling, and he didn't even mind. He was literally like.
But again, chances are I don't think you've been using it correctly, because when I told you to put it on him, and the reason I told you to put it on him versus me is because it's a secret test and you did not pass.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about that. What's the difference to the way you've done it there? Which way the hook? The loop comes through his head.
So simply. Right. So for example, can you multitask it?
I don't know.
I'll give you the dog.
I don't know if I can hold a phone and a dog.
Yeah, I know.
And a camera.
Right,
Like,
you got
2 hands. I don't know if you know that.
So it matters what way. Matters what way it goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, because if it goes on the right way, so like now, you see I pull it and see how it just loosens off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I put it on like this, he's set up to walk on my left.
Yeah.
Now, if I put it on like this, when he's set up to walk on my left, but I walk him on my right, what happens is it comes over, but then doesn't release.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is it stays tight, which creates concern, particularly if we took the time to teach him how to stop that tightening. With a dog, when they pull, in the beginning, we apply a pressure in the opposite direction, which tightens it, but the second they give into the direction we want them to go, it loosens off. So every time they hit the end of the lead and it tightens, we apply oppositional pressure and it turns off. So we're teaching the dog how to turn it off. So if we're walking him, but the slip lead's on the wrong way and it tightens, he's going to freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it matters what way you put it on. So if you're going to walk him on your left, pick it up by the loop. What does that resemble? It looks like a lowercase p. Yeah. So if I stick it over his head now, and then he's now set up to walk on my left.
Yeah.
If I wanted to walk him on the right, I would turn it round so it looks like the number 9 or a lowercase q. So with the dog in front of me, stick it over his head, and now he's set up to walk on my right. Yeah. And we want it high up on the head, as high up as it can go. Yeah. So it keeps it there, like almost like a dog show.
Like there.
And what happens is as soon as the dog starts to pull, it's up and relaxed. And I'll show you with him. Yeah, arm by my side like I'm carrying a bag. Nice and simple. If I stop, he stops. Just subtle communication. I'm not keeping the pressure there. It's on, off, on, off.
And you're not constantly saying heel to him. So
No.
he knows that when you need him to stand by you.
No, because again, when people go hill, 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 he stops listening to hill. Doesn't know what it means to begin with, and I'm just saying a word to him. Yeah, it's like every 5 seconds, if I say a word to you in French and you don't speak French, yeah, you're eventually just going to stop listening to me every time I say that word. Yeah, because you don't know what it means. Yeah, I'm not going to say hill, 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 because he doesn't know what it means. I will start to layer it over, right? So I'll start to go as we set off. Hill. Hill. To start to imprint what I want. Yeah. But less is more. Yeah. Don't name it until you love it. Yeah. Don't start saying something over and over again if he doesn't understand what you're asking, because all you're doing is giving him cause to start to ignore you. Yeah. It's like anyone in life. Anyone that keeps saying the same thing over and over again. Like kids, best example. Daddy, daddy, mummy, mummy. Grace, give me 5 minutes, darling. Yeah. My 9-year-old can be a little bit clingy, which I love it because she's a daddy's girl. But every now and again, it's like you've just come home from work, you just need 5 minutes. Yeah. Just give me 5 minutes. Yeah. Right. We want to start the right way. So we don't start walking, yeah, if he's fixating on something over there to begin with. If he's in front of us or behind us, we want to start as we mean to go on. how you start and finish an exercise are so important, because if you start the wrong way, yeah, already out of position, already too much lead, already with him fucking fixating over there, you've lost the battle before you've even began.
Yeah.
If you end on a negative, yeah, say he's losing his mind and then you give up, then next time you start that exercise, or good example, him whining. If he whines and then you give in to him, next time you try that activity, guess what he's going to do? He's going to whine, because that's how it ended before. The middle is also important, because it's important that we're teaching him along the way and letting him know what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. But the start is often where we go wrong. Yeah. So we start here. Remember the rule, his right leg at this moment in time, not past your left foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where he is right now, perfect. Unless you've given him permission to be in front and made it crystal clear, right now, the only thing I want from him is to walk by your side.
Okay.
That means head up, not nose to the floor.
Yeah.
Your arm here. Your arm should not be here, 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 by your side. Natural position.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. And if you feel tension, all you're doing is flicking back, applying pressure on that lead. He will improve very quickly, because he doesn't want to be distressed. He is crying out for somebody to just create a bit of order. How's that feel? What I want you to take, just stop for a second and get him to stop by your side. Perfect. What I really want you to take from today is there's no miracle as to why he's behaving like this. The amount of people that are shocked that when their dog is really, they're at their wit's end, they don't enjoy walking him, he's barking, he's stressed. A lot of people think it's going to take months and months and years to fix. Or they think because their dog's old, it's going to be fucking so long. It's not. When he moves on this quickly, look at that, right? It's because he is crying out for somebody to go, mate, this is what I need from you. Mate, for the first time in your life, there are some rules. Dogs like to know what they can do, what they can't do, what's expected of them. So the one thing I want you to take from this, yeah, next time, yeah, when you're thinking about, I just want to give in to him and do all of this, no, think about how he's behaving now. Because the reason he's behaving so well now is because this is what he is missing.
Yeah.
If you go back to old ways of behaving, he will go back to old ways of behaving. And that's when you had that stressed dog.
Yeah.
This is a calm, content dog.
Yeah.
Stressed dogs are not happy dogs. So the life he was living, yeah, wasn't good for you or him.
Yeah.
Think about this. This is what he is missing. This is what he's doing. So if you love him, yeah, this is what he needs.
Yeah.
Not cuddles. He can have that at home, that's fine. I'm not saying don't cuddle him. But right now, he's not lacking cuddles. He's not lacking good boys and good girls. He's not lacking treats and rewards. He's got all that in abundance. What he is lacking is mum stepping up going, mate, I need you to do this.
Yeah.
And look what he's doing. He's doing exactly what you want him to.
Yeah.
Right, keep walking him around. The only thing that's going to change is there's going to be a dog. But the way you behave should not. So, nothing should change. That's it, take him with you, take him with you. Let's go. And again, keep going, relax. Remember, tension on, tension off. If you keep that tension on, dragging him, he will fight more and more. So it's just on, off, on, off. Take him with you, on, off, on, off. And again, there you go. Keep going, nice. You don't break stride, you stay nice and chilled out, and look, few repetitions, he's going off with you. Walk towards me, walk past me. His job is to conform to you, not the other way round. Nice, on, off, and then relax.
Do you think sometimes when he does it, he's defending Sophia?
Well, he could do if Sophia panics. This is difficult, then on, off, on, off. Frank, you're so rude at times, mate.
Yeah, he didn't say hello.
He just said hello, he's sniffing my crutch. Although it's a natural dog behaviour, It's still as I'm standing here, I've got a note. I'm like, give it a rest, you moron. Just come and stand with us. Just bring him over. And remember the rules, when you stop, where do you want him? Perfect. Because this is how you stop him going forward. Because what happens is if he goes forward, he goes, yeah, I'm curious about that dog. But then he might panic when he gets there and make a bad choice. So we don't let this little thing bring him back. See how he's gone in front? Bring him back. Yeah? Because that little decision to go in front is the first of him making decisions, which ultimately leads to what? That bad choice. Yeah. So you don't let him make that little decision. Remember, everybody is trying to stop their dog reacting when it's at the end of the lead. By then it's too late. Yeah. Dogs don't just react. There is a build-up, and 9 out of 10 people miss that build-up. That little step forward that he did, innocent, nothing wrong with that. I'll ignore that. What does he do next? Another step forward. The paw comes up. He'll then start to fixate and then react. So if we go, no, mate, I know where this is going to lead, stay right there. Yeah. If I walk forward a little bit, stay there. He's got a little bit more concerned, but relax your arm because I can see you putting tension in that lead unnecessarily. Because what you're doing is going, I think he's going to react. I think he's going to react. Relax. How can we expect him to relax if you don't relax? Bring him back. See how he's going forward. Bring him back. And then relax. And see how he then just looks away, looks away. It's like, okay, so you don't want me to do that. It's you creating order.
Yeah. I need to get this. I don't know, it's maybe because I had a few situations when he was really like...
He's your baby, you love him.
And I'm just... And like some people, like most of the people nowadays, like, oh, I had a Jack Russell, it's in their blood.
Everyone's a fucking expert. Everyone that owns a dog is an expert.
But then some people are really like, you know, and you can see on their face too, he reacts. I'm trying to walk and go away from the situation, and then they just give that look or even a comment or something, and I'm like, look,
Frank, what the fuck is... Chill the fuck out. Frank's like lost his mind.
Is it copping? Chatting?
Yeah.
Get a scent or taste of it? You must taste nice, Adam.
Can you smell Myla? But everything, like, learning to multitask as well. Yeah. Just because we're chatting and everything and having a good time and laughing, it's very important that you're aware of what your dog is doing. Yeah. Yeah, because that's also where people get taken off guard. You're talking, you ignore the fact that the dog's gone in front, and then the reaction happens because you're not paying attention. Yeah, it's just keeping the dog. Do you want Frank?
No. Do you want me to want Frank?
Hmm?
Do you want me to want Frank?
I don't want you to want Frank.
Yeah, I do want Frank, it's just not right now.
Training dog.
What?
Is Frank a training dog?
Yeah, Frank and Benny, they belong to Sophie. My dog's normally here, but she's gone to the groomers this morning, so she's not here today.
It's the little like brown.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's normally here, but she's got the groomers, had the groomers this morning. And Roxy, my older terrier, people very rarely see her now because she's 13 and she's retired. So she's just a family dog, just stays at home sleeping most of the day. Myla, she has to go out every single day and everything, so she'll normally come to work. Right, let me put this dog away.
Stop, he freezes, and then I tell him to wait, and he waits until I get there, and then he looks at me, and if I tell him to, you can go, then we carry on walking, but he wouldn't come back.
He wouldn't,
not all the time.
If you won't come here or return or...
So like sometimes he does
Yeah, I
come
know, I was
back.
just in there. So, come here, mate. Just going to pop this on you quickly. Mind out. Where's your little fucking loop? You've got a loop on here somewhere. Yeah. There it is. Just going to take this one off you. Go on in. Free. Be free.
Yeah, he's not going.
So we're just going to walk around, let him... There we go. Follows me. Yeah, mate. You're free. I told you, your dog's loyalty is gone.
He wouldn't leave me either when we walk, like... He doesn't. I let him to like run, and he just. The only place is the golf course where he runs quite far.
Yeah.
He thinks it's his.
So, recall 101. Okay. This line, he should be on this, because if your dog ignores you and he's not on this, he knows he can ignore you and the recall will get worse.
Yeah.
If he knows he can run over to that dog and you can't stop him,
Yeah.
he will run over to every dog. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, this line, what it does is it becomes a boundary. So, when dogs are 30 foot, 40 foot, 50 foot away, you have less control.
Yeah.
So if I want to restrict how far he can go, I start stepping on his lead.
Yeah.
What that will do is it will interrupt him every time he starts to go too far away.
Yeah.
Now, when he realizes he can only go so far away from us, he actually starts to stay closer within our bubble. So right now I've restricted him, because we're here, I don't need him over there.
Yeah.
Because we're talking, I don't want him. So the way I keep him there is just restrict his freedom.
Yeah.
As a result, he will start to look, now he's looking at you, yeah, what to do. But if I don't step on his lead and restrict how far away he can go, what happens is he keeps going and going and going, and when he sees a dog or a squirrel or something like that, he knows he can keep going because there's no boundary there.
Yeah.
That's fine, we can replace it, it's just water. Yeah? So, we first teach him how far he can go. Then, it starts to make him more aware of where we are. And then he's more inclined to stay in our bubble. So step one, before we even start calling Hank come, Hank come, Hank come, we just teach Hank how far he can go. Notice that he stopped him, so now how he's changed his direction. So instead of keep going forward, he's now changed his direction. Yeah? So then we can go, Hank, come here. Yeah! Move it backwards, move it backwards, move it backwards. There's going to be a Jack Russell and starts grabbing something. I've got the lead, I've got the lead. I'm not playing tug of war with you. Yeah, just... But look how long his lead is. He can still run around. I've not taken that bit away from him. All I've done is make your Jack Russell that is this long, that long.
Yeah.
But I should never have to step on the end of this lead. If I'm having to step on the end of the lead, this is about 50 foot long. If he's 50 feet away from us, there's a problem. The reason dogs go missing, the reason dogs run over to something, the reason dogs get into trouble is because they're so used and comfortable being far away from the owner.
Yeah.
And the boundaries keep getting pushed and pushed. I want to teach him there are boundaries. As soon as he starts going too far away, step on that lead.
Yeah.
Practice this on a daily basis. Once he gets 10, 15, 20 feet away, step on it. Eventually what will happen is he'll start to get that distance away and start looking to see where you are. If you then start moving, he will carry on. But we're making him more aware of where we are.
Yeah.
And now if he goes running, we don't have to worry about grabbing him, just have to worry about stepping on this lead. Nice and simple. The reason dogs recall sucks is because you're able to repeat yourself over and over again without him doing it.
Yeah.
So I step on his lead, then I call him. If he doesn't do it, I'm on his lead.
And you can just pull him.
Pull it, make it happen. Too much responsibility too soon, and that is letting him off the lead completely. If I let him off the lead completely and his recalls hit and miss, I'm giving him too much responsibility and he can't cope with it. Yeah. Off lead is a privilege for dogs that can behave off lead. So we start on a long lead, we restrict how far he can go, we step on his lead every now and again so he doesn't go too far away. By stepping on his lead, it will start to create an invisible boundary. It will force him to pay more attention to us. It will make him more aware of where we are. And then by stepping on his lead, he looks at me, it becomes much easier to call him. And if he doesn't do it, guess what? My foot's on his lead. I can pick it up, make it happen.
Yeah.
Recall's quite simple
Yeah.
if you don't give the dog the upper hand.
No chance.
But it's because,
But
remember, set yourself up for success. So, Hank, come here. Good boy.
A lot more firmer that one.
Yeah.
Tug of war works as a 2-player game. Yeah?
Yeah.
So look, watch this. Get it! Get it! Get it!
That's his play noise as well.
Yeah, I know.
But everyone else is like, oh my god.
So look, tug of war is a 2-player game. Yeah? So when he gets excited, he starts biting the lead. Yeah?
You tug him.
So look, when he gets excited, he starts tugging the lead. Yeah? But tug of war is a 2-player game. So he's going to quickly. See, look, it's a 2-player game. He requires both of us to play it. Now, if it's something I want to play tug of war with, I will. But with the lead, I won't. But look, he's dropped it now.
Yeah.
Because tug of war is a 2-player game.
So when he's got a ball in his mouth and we're trying to relax and he's just shoving it into your leg like this, constantly.
No, it's a 2-player game. If I want to play tug of war, I'll get something that's appropriate. But I'm not going to play tug of war with his lead, because then every time I go for a walk and he gets excited, he's going to jump up and start biting the lead. Yeah. So what I do is I'd have him on a normal lead and just let him drag a little lead behind him. This is a great tip for dogs that jump up and bite the lead. What you do, you have this over your head. So you walk him on his normal lead, and if he starts jumping up, biting the lead, let's see if I can get you excited. So he gets excited. Yeah? So I will have him drag a little lead round with him, so I can just stop it. He doesn't get reinforcement from that. He's still safe because he's got this lead here, but it means we can then, but notice I calm myself right down. Come. This was your dog. Remember, I think I got a viral video of your dog. Requires 2 players, mate. Come on in. To be fair, you're pretty good off your lead anyway. Look at you.
He doesn't go
He
far.
doesn't go far.
Unless he gets a scent. If he gets a scent,
You're fucked.
yeah, there's no stuff.
It's Jack Russell.
Actually, I stopped like I was literally, a deer was about as far as that bush, and he started running, and I shouted at him, "Hank, stop!" And he just looked at me and stopped in the middle of the go-kart and left the deer. I think he
Like
realised
I say,
he's
he's a
not going
good
to catch
dog.
it.
He's not. He's just. I think
It's
it's
us.
a certain. It's probably yeah.
You're too inconsistent. Like I said,
He's not.
in a night. Do you know what? The best of intention has been done here. You love him. He's spoiled, but you're avoiding things that are difficult
Yeah.
with him. There's a lot going on at home, and sometimes it's easier just to go, oh, fuck it, we'll do it tomorrow. You're inconsistent, yeah. But it's obvious you love him, he's your baby. That's why you give in to the whining. That's why he sleeps in your bed. That's why you fucking give him your fucking human food. That's why you rush to change it if he doesn't eat. Yeah.
Great.
You haven't screwed him up purposely.
No, the other weird thing is, I've got this wobbly Kong for him, and he eats out his dry food from that like an angel. But if I put the exact same food in his bowl, like 8 out of 10 times he wouldn't touch it.
Okay.
So I just put him.
Eating from a bowl is boring anyway.
Yeah.
If he's eating from
So
a Kong.
Yeah, I just put in his Kong and he loves that.
Yeah. Look, I actually think eating from a bowl is completely fucking boring for a dog. Like,
Yeah.
The reality is just put him in a if he's eating from his Kong, there's no real problem there. If you want him to eat from his bowl, then you got to stick it in his bowl. If he doesn't eat it, take it away and repeat again tomorrow. Also, dogs will be fussier if they're not getting enough exercise as well, because they're not hungry. A dog's all the same as us. If we do a nice workout or go fucking swimming or something like that, we're often hungry afterwards. Play a game of football, you're hungry afterwards. Like any sort of sporting activity, because you burn off all of that energy, you need to replenish it. If he's just sitting at home all day, just kind of festering, he's not going to have such an appetite. So you're always better to feed him after a walk. Yeah. And if he doesn't eat it, take it away. He'll soon learn to eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't leave out all day.
What the fuck? He's not a cow. He's a dog. He's a scavenger.
You're a cow.
I like to. I respect him for being a dog, so I like to bring out that side of the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually be a dog.
Yeah. The reality is, right? People ask once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, should I leave the food down for the dog? Never leave the food down for the dog. It kills their food drive, like massively. 9 out of 10 dogs that if you leave the food down, it completely kills their food drive. They just go and graze it like a zombie, like, oh, I'll have a couple of mouthfuls here and a couple of mouthfuls there. And the other thing is, and if you've got 2 dogs, then it becomes very difficult to monitor how much they're eating. So we don't leave the food down. Dogs are natural scavengers. Let's respect them for being that, right? So a dog should eat whatever you put in front of them. But most dogs don't these days. Most dogs are so fucking pansy and finicky and I don't know, that might be horrible. Yeah. And they are. We have a real issue with fear and anxiety in modern dogs, right? And it's because they're coddled so much. What I do, I feed my dogs once a day. Yeah. I feed them at the end of the day after a nice long walk. I'll come home. Just like playing a sporting activity like football or rugby or going swimming, something like that, you're always hungry afterwards. So I take them for a nice long walk, come back, right, now you've worked up an appetite, have your dinner. If they were to turn their nose up here or ignore it, that dinner goes away. Guess what? You're going to have to wait till tomorrow now. Next day, we go and take them for a walk, put their food down. I'm fucking hungry now. They're going to eat it. When the dog realises the food's going to go away, they're more likely to eat it. Yeah. So that's what we do. Yeah. As they get older, I might feed them twice a day. 2 smaller meals might make it easier for them to digest, but I generally do that after a walk. Yeah. But the reality is, the other thing people do is if you put the food down and the dog doesn't eat it, you go out and you change the food, thinking if your dog misses a meal, it's going to starve. Now, obesity is another big issue we have. Nearly every person I meet at this moment in time has got a fat, overweight dog. And they're like, yeah, but if he doesn't eat, they're worried it's going to starve. I'm like, your dog is anything but starving. Like, it's normal for a dog to miss a meal here and there. Yeah. If there's not much going on, if they haven't had a lot of exercise and things like that, if it's warm, yeah, they can eat less. If a dog's in season, they can either increase their appetite or be a little bit more subdued. But the reality is, we panic, we go, oh shit, he hasn't eaten, let's give him some human food, or let's give him that, and straight away now we have a fussy dog that has been conditioned to ignore food in order to get something they want. Welcome to Hank.
I'm in the last few weeks I was really like paying attention, so I gave him his food in the morning. If he eats it, eats it. If not, sometimes I forget it, but I take it away.
The other thing is, if you feed raw food, you'll forget it less because you won't leave that down all day.
Because the smell.
Yeah, exactly. You'll have flies and everything buzzing around it, so just put it down.